Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy with Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, and I'm joined always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Tuesday afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
ready to do some podcasting, but we brought a friend,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Friend of the show, becoming one of the most consistent recurring guests on the podcast. It is Myq Kaplan. What's going on, man?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Happy to be recurring as regularly as possible.
Last time we talked to you was December, right before the holidays. The episode was 3198, the Mamarazzi. And because Myq comes back more frequently, we actually get to talk about like pop culture
Culture.
and news and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The guests, a lot of times I think, have it backwards. They're like, oh, have me on to promote my thing, but then the only thing that the appearance can be about is the thing now, because like what's the thing? It's been a year, how you been? But now it's like we might be able to get into some other things. That being said, how have you been? How have the holidays treated you and the beginning of this new year?
Thank you for asking. I'll say first, there have been some, I don't know if we'll talk about in the not me portion, some horrifying things going on in the news, in the world, in the country. I have been horrified by them and also heartened by, so many of the, in the vein of Mr. Rogers, look for the helpers, the helpers, the people. There's a lot of horrifieds out there, which is heartening.
Mm.
And I wish the first part weren't so, and I'm glad that the second part is so. So I feel like that is larger than, and I'm like, compared to almost everything, I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I am in specific excited about in 2 days. I just got booked a couple weeks ago. I'm flying to Florida to perform on Comic-Con the Cruise. I didn't know
Ah,
that it existed.
Thing.
I know that I went on a cruise. The last time I was on a cruise was March of 2020, which is a weird time to be on a cruise.
yeah.
Uh, and it was the Joko cruise, which features comedians, musicians, podcasters, sci-fi authors, comic book writers, all kinds of like a cool, weird, compassionate, inclusive community that I feel like was metaphorically, like jokingly called. They're like, it's basically like Comic-Con on a boat. And now I'm literally going on an official Comic-Con thing where originally Brian Posehn, who is also managed by my manager, was supposed to be on the ship, and he had a conflict. So last minute, I am stepping in and excited. Rini and I are flying down, and we'll be on this ship for 4 days this weekend. And that is not how the holidays were. That is what is about to be. But oh God, I got the question wrong. I confused the past and the future.
Wait,
But
hold up. Did you say so the cruise is 4 days or
yeah, it's
okay?
it's for days. Yeah. We're gonna cruise for days. How many? 4 days. Yeah, we leave the cruise leaves on Friday and comes back on Tuesday. So it's like 4 nights.
Mm.
And if anyone is listening and wants to come, I think there's still you can still do that. And if you use the code FINAL, you get $400 off, which sounds like a lot, but also I don't know what it's off of. So, but
Are you
sounds
a
great.
are you a like comic book nerdy
Type of
person, like
person. Yeah,
MCU, that kind of guy?
Marvel, DC,
I know
Image
you're a very
Comics.
smart person. I know you
Mm-hmm.
wear glasses and I know you're, made of half robot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. You
are
could
you
be
a
nerdy in different areas.
yeah, are you
Yeah.
like a pop culture type nerd too?
I am. I would say that pop culture is much larger. That like my spectrum of nerdery is is focused, but it does absolutely include comic books, the MCU. For like, certainly there are people out there who know more than and I know what I know, but I did recently. I get a lot of comics from the library. I've been reading comic books. I think Secret Wars was the first one that I ever got when I just saw it in a comic store when I was a kid. I think that probably came out in like 1984, and I got it maybe maybe a few years later, but the first issue was just like literally every comic book superhero that I'd ever seen on the cover. It's like, Spider-Man and the in the Marvel universe, like the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers, like fighting all of the villains. That was, I don't know if you know that story, but and then I've always been a Spider-Man guy. And then as a kid, I read X-Men because I thought I was supposed to. I'm like, this is what this is what a child who likes comic books is supposed to read, even though I wasn't super into it at the time. Now I read based on like who is writing it more than anything. But I did also just get a Marvel Unlimited subscription, so I can read as up until a few months ago's worth, until they keep releasing them. Like, they want me to pay for them, but nice try. If you just wait, if you pay with time, then you don't have to pay with as much money. Time is money in this respect. But there are some incredible stories. Like, I've really enjoyed recently Squirrel Girl by Ryan North. I've been enjoying Al Ewing's Thor. I've been in the DC universe. I've really enjoyed the Absolute DC. I don't know if we talked about those last time. I think the Wonder Woman, the Superman, but big in Spider-Man world, there's the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man that just came out recently. That's sort of connected to the One World Under Doom, which is like the big Marvel comics thing that's going on, which I guess they're doing also in part to connect to the Doom Marvel movie situation storylines. They know what they're doing.
Well, I would say from everything you just said, the answer is yes. You do keep
I'm sorry. Yeah, I could have. Yes is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll
I like
right
to
in
show.
comic.
I like to show. Yeah.
That would not be a problem at all. When you say you follow like the writers, that's a big thing. 'Cause a lot of people follow like Spider-Man, Batman, like they just follow certain characters kind of regardless of who writes it. But once you start getting it like to the artists or maybe certain writers because you like the way they write and things like that, or like the way they draw, you take it to another level. You made me think, because you talk about your first comic. My first comic book was the Powerpuff Girls. It was my very first comic book. I think it was at Barnes and Noble. Roger had been reading comic books for a very long time. I hadn't never read comic books before, and I love the Powerpuff Girls, still do to today. And I happened to be looking around because he was looking for stuff, so I was looking around. I was like, oh, Powerpuff Girls, and it was like issue 1.
I have been trying to. I've been trying to get her into comic books, and then I know she loved a lot of cartoons on Cartoon Network, and so I was like, "Oh, here's a great gateway." It's a
great way. Yeah,
it's a great way. She was like, "Yeah, I'm into this," and now she reads, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you start where you meet people halfway. I feel like that's one of the hardest things, because nerd in my lifetime went from meaning like socially awkward to kind of expert. Like, it kind of like switched over in my lifetime. It was being called a nerd in like 5th grade was not nearly the experience that I'm sure now I feel like people almost claim nerd, like there's like hot actors who are like, oh, I'm such a nerd. I'm so nerdy.
You know what I feel like this is the man, I'm seeing so much right now, and I'm going to try to say it all real quick, but I think you're right. There's been like a linguistic evolution where nerd, it truly did, like, maybe it was some kids who liked Dungeons and Dragons and then they got made fun of for it, or they liked Star Trek, or whichever of the things, the pop culture things. But now you can be a nerd of anything. There's like sports nerds, and there's this nerd. Like, so nerd is more like a container rather than what the content is. I mean, there's also the original thing too, but I feel like we could be. I don't think we're doing this, but there's people who could be like, hey, I got made fun of for being a nerd. I earned this now. And now you're just coming in and like appropriating the term nerd from us. Like, you didn't get thrown in a locker. You're in a locker room doing locker room talk. And now you're like, yeah, I'm a locker room nerd. Yeah. And like, we're like the people who, like today, it'd be great if all student loan was canceled, but then there's people like, hey, I had to pay pay my student loan, so everyone has to like, hey, they cured cancer, so now, but I lost somebody to cancer. You should lose people to cancer also. Like, hey, no,
Yeah.
it'd be better to improve the world so that none of us have to be in debt, none of us have to die of cancer, and all of us can enjoy whatever
And
we
it
are a
kind of,
nerd of.
well, no, you go, Karen, then I'll.
And Myq, you making me think when you was talking about the nerds that complain about people coming into the culture. I don't know, for those of you that's ever been to a comic book shop, like a comic book store where they just sell comic books, I've seen nerds have like what we what you call like a nerd off, like where everybody try to out nerd each other. Seeing them in like their own uh
Element.
natural
Habitat.
habitat. Yeah, natural
Yeah.
habitat. It is wild
Yeah.
because you be like, oh, y'all are really, and at the end of the day, only you care. I'm not trying to be funny. It's like, no,
But
and I
that's
held up the line. I was like, I just want to buy my comic book. I don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about.
well, like I just think like it's changed because I remember when people started calling themselves nerds that were like popular, famous,
Yes.
attractive people, like an actor is like, oh no, I'm such a huge nerd. And I remember like at first feeling a little bit like, hey, you didn't get shoved in a locker. I don't
What are
think
you doing here?
I don't think you might not fit the description. But I'm happy for the inclusion. I'm happy for the stigmatization of that term. I think it's better when we don't bemoan people for liking things a lot.
Yes.
But it went from socially awkward. If you remember Revenge of the Nerds, only like one or two of them were smart.
Right.
Like there was a lot of nerds, but it was like, oh, you're black and gay, you're a nerd.
Yes.
Oh, you're gross. You like to dig in your nose and boogers, you're a nerd. Like it was just like socially awkward, outcast nerd. Then I do remember when it became being smart, which was still come with a social outcast stigma, but it like more gravitated to, oh, you're a nerd. You're a nerd. You're not cool. You like to know things. And now it's just more like generalized expertise and stuff. And then the last thing I would add too, a lot of the bad PR for nerds is now self-inflicted because so many of the tech people who are hurting our economy and hurting our lives are people that folks looked up to for being geniuses and nerds because they were so smart and they just he invented Facebook, he's a nerd. And and it turns out not that smart, like more like unscrupulous than smart, which people equate with smart in a super capitalistic society, right? It's like, oh, you found a way to fuck all your employees out of their money and take over the company. You're smart, like like smart in the way that
noodle.
Yes, smart in the way you stabbed him in the back instead of the front where he couldn't see it. It was very smart. But and it also, I think we gained some things with positive PR for nerds because like Comic-Con, the cruise, it used to be a time when you'd be like, Comic-Con, oh, everyone's gonna be stinky, everyone's gonna be like losers, they're gonna be awkward, they're gonna make things gross for you. Now it's like, no, we're nerds are going on a sexy Comic-Con cruise for 4 days. There's showers here. It's gonna be an awesome time.
Right, you can bathe.
I welcome the change, but yes, the change has been extreme.
Oh yeah, I think great point about I feel like the people who were picked on and then essentially became supervillains, like when they could have gone the other way and everyone would have like loved them and been like, well, like thank goodness you overcame, what you went through and now we're on your side. And then they're like, no, I now rule with an But
I'm the bully now.
Yeah. You deal with the things that I had to deal with before.
Yeah, I shove you in the equivalent of a locker, with the power of my mind. When I moved to New York in 2008, I've been doing comedy like about 6 years, and this was sort of like maybe the beginnings of the rise of like that that cultural
Mhm.
shift. And I remember there was a guy who I met, another comedian, like I was starting to get, I was on TV for the first time and I had some like career success. And this guy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, do you think that it seems like nerds are kind of getting to be cool now? He's like, do you think that I should get glasses? And I was like, I need these to see, man.
Right. I need
Like,
this to function.
Mike, I'm not even joking, dude. I kept this irrational anger to myself. I mean, it's rational, but the amount of anger I had was irrational. When NBA athletes started wearing
Glasses.
glasses,
And they didn't need them.
and they weren't even prescription glasses, they were just like LeBron James wants to look smart, and I'm like, you don't get to have that. You already have better than 2020 vision. You're already top 1% of athletic people in the world. You're already famous. No, don't pick on my stigmatism. Don't stigmatize my stigmatism. Or maybe they were destigmatizing my stigmatism. Either
Well,
way, I didn't like it.
either way, you've got a good
Hilarious.
rap song going there, and I love that. Don't destigmatize my stigmatism. Yeah. Also, Karen, have you guys? I imagine did you guys watch the movie Nimona when it came out? Do you
What?
remember it? It's an
I don't remember
animated.
Nimona.
It's animated on Netflix. It was a comic originally, by a writer I like a lot. Who I forget
Oh
the
no,
name
I
of it.
haven't seen this. I haven't. I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, because I was like,
So
I don't
that's
remember that name.
Yeah.
so I feel like, I mean, I'm sure you've expanded your horizons. I feel like that's a really nice introductory comic as well for people who aren't super into, like, if you like watch the movie, if you like the movie, read the comic, and then read other
Right.
things by this author. They wrote a book called Lumberjanes as well. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know
I
that
read
one.
Lumberjanes. I love
Yeah.
Lumberjanes.
So yeah, those are
I
some
love
cool
listen.
Yeah.
I
ones.
love Lumberjanes. I mean, I read a lot of weird offbeat comics, but
You
yeah,
do.
that's one of my ones. Now since we've had this segment, I say we keep the segment going. Ken. We never do this with a guest, but I think we should do some banter.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna play the banter
I was about to
music.
say, I do got some.
All right, here we go. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter? Do you have any answer? 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 Do you have any banter? Answer. Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Banter? All right, Karen.
Yeah.
Let's banter with Mike.
Yeah, we're going to banter with you. This is just random thoughts.
Now, you probably thought when we were talking before that was banter. That's how some people would define it. But
Wow.
as banter professionals, we have to have our entire different segment where we banter, not just so we can put commercials in there later. Karen, go ahead and banter with these folks.
Me and Roger, I don't know why, but our like iPads, and notebooks, whenever we go out to eat, we'll just break them out and just like read comics, read books, and things like that. For some reason, it draws people's like attention. Um, Last time a lady came and she was like, I came over here just to see if you guys were artists. So I'm assuming she must have thought we were drawing on them because I was reading Miles Morales and Roger was reading like something different.
I was reading Star Wars Dr. Aphra.
Okay. And so I was like, oh, it's just something about when we open them up. It just, everybody's look. I think one time one dude was asking us all about manga and things like that. It's just something about.
It's always interesting because it's really more about them than us.
Yes.
Like they want to tell us what they're reading, which interrupts what we're reading. But I like the camaraderie of it. I like having real conversations with people, and I found it much better than regular small talk. Like talking about something someone's interested in, to me, is better than like, how's the weather? Or, oh, the traffic this morning was crazy. So I have enjoyed it, but I also find it they get a little pushy because everyone's into manga now. We're still reading comics. And then they start talking about the manga, and clearly they're not coming to the comic side. When we're like, oh, you know what else that's like? They're like, not interested. Here's the manga I'm reading. Here's a list for you to read. And then next time you eat here, you should be caught up with me.
Right. And interesting. And there's nothing against manga reading, but I just didn't grow up, reading manga. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like it's not, it's the same, but it's not the same. Because
Now,
I've tried, but you like reading in reverse. Like, it's somewhat confusing to me.
Mike, I've read some. It's straight. But
Okay.
Mike, you and Rini, when you guys go out to eat, do you read? Do you are you ever on your phones? Are y'all locked in? Like no phones, no TVs. We're out in public and we're here.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that we go out to eat, Rini and I, less frequently these days. Like since the pandemic, like we started cooking at home a lot, eating at home a
Right.
lot, like saving money. Like when we're on the road, I'd say that's when we eat out the most, and like
Hmm.
when we don't have a home to cook in. And I would say that we don't have a specific rule of no devices, but that is the general guideline that we are. If we're in the restaurant, we're one time,
Right.
here's the thing. I have like some food issues. And one time, I feel like in 2022, for my birthday, we went to a restaurant and we specifically, like, we were there for 2 hours. It was like a really nice place that I think it was just like where it was a food meditation experience, like specifically where I like one of my issues is I eat too fast. I eat more quickly than I need to. And like, sometimes it's by design. Like I'm like, okay, I love these blueberries and they taste really good and I'm getting full. So let's eat a lot more of them really quick so I can enjoy them before my stomach starts hurting. And then later my stomach starts hurting. And I'm like, that's later me's problem. But earlier me got to enjoy all those delicious blueberries. And so to help combat, or maybe not even use the word combat, to help address that concern, because I don't want to live like that necessarily. I don't want to
Right.
eat unhealthily quickly and hurt myself. And I think I have been improving, but that was like a turning point, or one notch, one step towards improvement, where Rini, who has a healthier relationship to food, like she would like help talk me through like a guided meditation, like take
Mm.
one bite and then while the bite is in my mouth, put the fork down and don't stab the next bite and get it ready, being like, all right, on deck, this food coming up. We've got a
Coming up next.
we've got a potato in the mouth, but we've got a tomato coming in, like get ready. But like a conveyor belt, just being like, look. And
Yeah.
so like leaving space, taking time. And
Mm.
so I do, like when I'm in a restaurant alone, I absolutely, like if I'm on the road alone, I will
Yeah.
100% be reading either on my physical book or on a
Right.
device. I was on a plane once and I was reading a book. I remember it was Comedy Book by Jesse David Fox that I think is awesome, and maybe I talked to you about with the time that I was there closest to that, because that book like really spoke to me, and it spoke to me so much that I had like the reverse experience of what you're talking about, where I'm on a plane next to a stranger and I start talking to them about my book and how good it is. I'm like,
You're just like hoping someone will notice the covers. Like, why are you even holding it
hello.
that way?
Yeah.
You can't possibly be reading it and moving it this much.
Doesn't it look interesting? But I think the experience that you're talking about is so interesting because, like, of course, like, yeah, that's way better. Like, that's big talk. That's like personal
Yeah.
talk. That's
I
less
like medium
small.
talk. I like
Yeah.
medium talk, right? I had a podcast, a spin-off podcast where I interviewed people and it's called Medium Talk. Cause I don't like the very surface level. It's not like I have animosity towards.
It's not
My
deep.
brain is not excited by, oh man, the weather or whatever.
More
But
interesting stuff. Yeah.
right. But then also huge talk I reserve for just like a small circle of people. Like I don't necessarily want me and you to talk about your divorce and we just met. Like we just met. You might, it gets kind of deep. I'm an empath. I've had people approach me my whole life and go a little too far where I'm like, ooh, oh, this is not the kind of talk I would expect at the gym. How am I ever going to get to the next set if you're crying? So I like medium talk, and medium talk about manga or anime movies and stuff is perfect. And the other thing is Karen and I read our tablets when we go out because unlike most married couples, we talk 2 to 3 hours a day.
We talk all of
Uh,
it.
so for us, it's like finally our brains can relax. We are not being forced to talk to each
Yeah.
other for anyone's entertainment.
Yeah,
And if
and
you want to read a different thing than I read, or like,
yeah.
oh, it's all fine. We're
And people's insecurities shine,
yeah. You're
and
like, oh
and
my
you can
God, are you
tell.
guys okay?
Okay, right?
I hate to see couples not talking to each other. It's like,
Yes.
well, here's our podcast. You can listen. You can see us talk to each other since you love it so much.
Right.
Here's,
That's so funny.
here's my banter. The hook and ladder is a football play where like
Oh,
a wide receiver catches it
I
and then
thought you were talking about the sub. My bad.
there's also a sub at Jersey Mike's.
Huh?
I mean, no, Firehouse sub.
Yes, that's why you said hook and ladder. I was like, oh, a sandwich.
Yes. But the hook and ladder also would be a good name for a whorehouse by a fire station.
Ooh.
Or if you took over the lease for a old fire station and turned it into a whorehouse, the hook and ladder.
That would be a great name.
That's perfect. I that's all my banter for that. That was just I just thought it was neat.
I think it would be cool to be near a firehouse, but also it's just like a Home Depot, so because hey, we got this, we got hooking, we got ladders.
We got ladders. We got
Yeah.
a very specific type of home decor in
yeah,
here.
that's it.
Yeah, you want
Hooks and
to meet with one of our sex workers up in the loft? Use a ladder. Yeah.
Yeah, here's a ladder. You want to hang a hook in your house? You're gonna need a ladder if it's too high. So make sure you grab one on the way out. That's our cover story. Karen,
Yeah.
your turn. We'll do one more, then we'll do some news.
Okay. Have you ever peed so long that you ask your bladder, "Are you okay?"
Oh my God.
Because I peed the other day and I felt like I was peeing for 5 minutes. I was cause I've been, like I said, it's not a resolution, but just taking better care of yourself. So my water intake has kind of did the uptick, and all these things have kind of did like an uptick. And so I didn't even think about it, but man, I sat there and I was like, why am I still here? You still going down there?
Okay. Okay. But also, Karen, and I'm not saying this is what happened to you, but this is definitely what happens to me. I think when I'm high, I feel like I'm peeing longer.
Rod,
I have
can
not
see that.
measured it to see if I'm peeing
I
longer.
can see that.
I don't know if it's my brain thinking I'm peeing longer
Right.
or literally my bladder being like, oh, finally we can truly relax. I'm gonna get 100% of the pee out today. But oh my God, that's what happens to me. I'm not saying it's what happened to you,
Right.
but that is 100% an experience I have when I'm high, and I don't know if it's real or psychosomatic.
Rod, can I tell you, I resonate with that completely. When I if I'm on mushrooms, if I'm during an ayahuasca ceremony, perhaps on a weed, it's more apparent to me in those situations. But to the point that I wrote myself a little song to sing to myself, like how you're supposed to sing
That sounds
happy
fun.
birthday. Oh yeah, you do happy birthday twice while you're washing your hands to make sure you're doing it the right
Right.
amount of time. Obviously, you have to sing it the right length. But so here's, if I may briefly, I sing something like, it's the weird thing in the bathroom, in the bathroom. It's the weird thing. If you're peeing and it feels too long, it's okay. It's the right thing. Just keep singing the song. And so if you have a song that you know how long it goes, then you have an external objective metric, because the subjective experience of being high does often involve time dilation. So I do think it's what's going on
Right.
in the brain. Of course, if you're high, maybe you're singing the song at a different rate than you normally would if you weren't.
Right,
Anyway, so
right,
there's no
See,
there's,
that's the kind
Twice
of
as long.
that right there is the kind of high thought I'll be having while I'm thinking of measuring my pee time. I'm like, but what if my perception of time has changed, and even now as I'm perceiving it, I think I'm singing the song at the right pace. I'm singing it in a high pace, and that's why it's taking so long. What I really need to do is time myself on a regular pee, non-high,
Right.
then time myself on a high pee and be like, is it the same? Okay, cool. I'm just tripping. Or because in my brain, when I'm peeing that long, my brain goes to oh, this is such a relieving. Wait a minute, is something wrong with me?
That's what I asked
Do I have
myself.
more pee than normal?
I-
Are my other pees too short?
Right. right. And for me, I wasn't hiring anything like that. It was like I said,
Okay.
I knew it was the fact that like
Yeah.
upticked my water intake. Like I knew that like my body was like water. Let's flush everything out.
Well, I love that for you. It's good to be healthy. You know, we love long peas. I'll do one last one
Okay.
for my banter. Bruno Mars music makes me want to say stuff like code jamming on the one
I love
when I
Bruno
describe it,
Mars.
even though it is 2026 music, his music has always made me want to feel like I should be doing 80s slang to it.
Yeah.
It's like not timeless. What's the opposite of time? It's stuck in a time that he is not from, for the record. I don't
No,
even know if he was alive.
he is not
But
from
but he
I,
makes that music where I'm just like, that's a cold jam, brother.
That's cold busted. I am here for that. I really enjoy Bruno Mars. He's coming to Charlotte in April sometime.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. And so for me, I've never seen him live, but everybody that has seen him live, they was like, that little short man, because they say he's not tall. They was like, that little short man put on a hell of a show. I was like, I am here to shake it with Bruno Mars.
If I may briefly, I also enjoy the music of Bruno Mars. I want to pit two things. Number one, I'd like to pitch the opposite of timeless is timeful. He is a timeful man of a time specific. He's full of a time. And the second thing is, do you know what I have in common with Bruno Mars? We're not so different, he and I, because I, like Bruno Mars, am also coming to Charlotte in April. April
Oh,
5th.
that's true.
Duckworth.
Hopefully I'll get to see you. I'm very jealous of Roger. Roger has seen you several times in person. I haven't seen you once because every time you come here, we was gone.
Yeah. No, we're in New York. I saw him in New York twice.
Okay.
I
I think one time he came here to Charlotte, and
we were gone when he was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I forget the exact date, but we'll be like pushing it. But I think we're gonna get to see you because we have an event from the 9th to the 12th in Las Vegas. But I think depending on the flight, we should be able to see Myq, and I'm looking forward to that, man.
Me too. Let's go.
All right, let's get into some other news, guys. All right, not all the news is good news. It's time to talk politics until we get mad.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
People have got to know whether or not their presidents are crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's actually probably in Tennessee, but it says, fool me once. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed.
All right. Politics till we get mad. Lots of politics are still happening. Lots of things that make people upset. Let's see how long we go. People in our city, Charlotte, North Carolina, are sleeping outside of the ICE office overnight because that's how long the waits are. And I think that specifically pisses me off because I think one thing people forget is we've had ICE since 2003. Part of what ICE's job was to actually like help people. It wasn't always this Gestapo shit they're doing.
Right.
And so that functionality is still expected, right? Like you still have to deal with ICE even if you're a legal citizen and you're trying to go through the right steps.
Right.
And they increased their budget so fucking much to like a military budget, and yet people have to sleep outside because they don't want to lose their spot in line. It's like 8 degrees at night
and it's
right
been
now.
Icing, yes.
Right, and so people are out here in hazardous conditions. People doing things the right way. Because the whole thing is if you do things the right way, it'll work out. You didn't dedicate any money to do the things the right way. All the money is to like, how can we militarize this force, go to cities where they don't want us or need us, harass people, shoot people, big lies and cover-ups about it. And then when it comes to the actual part of immigration that people are like, yeah, so you do have that right, they're like, oh no, we don't. We're understaffed. We hired too many Dean Canes to run up in people's houses, but and zip tie kids and shit. But when it comes to just a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. job of immigration, we don't got no time for
Can't
that.
handle that.
Man, I saw it'd be great if Dean Cain was just assigned to work as the receptionist. That would be incredible. You just come in, but Rini showed me a video of a journalist who went like undercover ish, like just applied to ICE, like had a 6 minute interview, didn't do any of the didn't like the background check was marked as done from 3 days in the future, and like was basically aside like you did it, you got hired, and just like a lefty journalist who's just trying to understand what the
Right.
process is.
And
And what
she had tweets and stuff anti-ICE. Like she's written articles that are anti-ICE.
they
So she was
didn't
like,
do a
they
check.
didn't even,
Yeah.
yeah, they didn't even verify anything. They just like, oh, you got a pulse. Come on in.
And like it would be incredible if they were actually like, I mean, Delta is like, hey, the wait is going to be 29 minutes. Do you want us to call you back? Like the technology exists. You can have a
Right.
list of people that are like, hey, you're this number in line. You don't have to sleep outside. We'll call you with your number when you're done. Show up. It's yeah,
Mm.
that's it's sad. Are we mad now? Are we mad enough?
We're getting there. We're getting there. I don't think it's gonna take a lot today.
Mm-mm.
Um, I always save all these articles and then like 3 in, I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Magistrate judge rejects charges against Don Lemon over anti-ICE protest in Minnesota church. So
Right.
Don Lemon did the job of what journalists are used to do and supposed to do.
Used to do.
Went and got on the ground during some anti-ICE protests and embedded with these people and learned like stuff about them and covered the protests.
Right.
And then, of course, our government decided that he incited a riot. Just think two things that did not happen, and they wanted him arrested. And a Minnesota federal magistrate judge refused to sign the complaint.
Right.
Obviously, you're getting into the freedom of the press, First Amendment, stuff like
It was
that.
already happening. How am I inciting something when I just come out here to cover it?
Right. The attorney general is enraged at the magistrate's decision, said a source familiar with the matter. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been in Minnesota for 2 days. As the Justice Department has sought to surge prosecutorial and law enforcement resources there. And I want to say this was from like a week ago, basically. And since this has happened, I believe they've shot 2 more people. And so I would imagine a Minnesota judge, uh, many of them are like, I don't like what you guys are doing with our state.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Kind of regardless of what side they're
Yeah.
on. Some of them are like, we don't want you
Yeah,
here.
because now
right?
you're seeing even Republicans that are like, whoa, slow. Greg Abbott
Yeah, like,
came out and said,
right.
like, yo, y'all got to chill out. This can't be right. So I think in the Trump worldview, it's people just supposed to do what we say. We're the presidential administration. But I think even
not
beyond
reality.
party lines, there's a lot of people just don't like what y'all are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm a judge and you want me to do something illegal, and the only reason you want me to do it is because you're Trump and I got to do it, then no. What are you
Right.
gonna do about it?
And also it's one of those things where for the judge, they don't get, this is what some of his lackeys don't understand. You don't get the cover that President Trump gets.
Right.
If you break the law, they will prosecute you.
Yeah.
Like ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Dan Bongino, I think is his name. They're talking about he might get fired. He's the head of like the ISD, whatever that is. That he may have to be forced to resign or retire and all this type of stuff. It's like, yeah, you don't get the cover Trump gets. Trump is the only one who gets the full, complete,
Yep.
no consequences cover.
only one.
Everyone else can be a scapegoat at any period of time. So I'm not really surprised by that. And then also, I think seeing judges, citizens step up, it matters because this administration lies so much.
Yes, they do.
So you kind of need someone to confirm reality on both sides of the aisle. You need Republicans who are like, this is not happening. They are lying. is just a baseline. There used to be a high bar like we used to have high standards. This is a very low standard of like, but that's not what
Very
happened.
low standard.
Even with the activist who was arrested that Don Lemon was filming,
Mm-hmm.
she was arrested. They photoshopped her picture so it looks like she's crying when she was arrested, even though she was not. And the official
Wow.
the official government account sent out that doctored photo.
It's bizarre. Here's just to add a little levity to it. Don Lemon, you've been inciting a riot. He's like, well, I'm not even citing a riot. There isn't even a riot to cite. It's a riot that you think that there's a riot that could be inciting, but there's not a riot in sight to be inciting.
Yes. And look, shout out to Don Lemon, man. There was a time where he was he was kind of maybe right when social media started. He used to like do some wild stuff on his weekend shows. And he was on CNN, I think, being like one of the first black anchors on CNN that had their own show. I think there may have been some and like a gay black man. I think there was some pressure to be like, I got to show people I'm a wild card. I'm a little bit like I can be conservative. You don't know which way I'm gonna go. And I'm kind of glad that he's kind of made it all the way over to the like just the right side of things. Because
he was questionable for a while.
It was very questionable. So shout out to Don Lemon for making himself lemonade.
When life gives you Don Lemon, yeah.
Yeah. It took him 12 years, but he did it. We'll do well, yeah, this is gonna make us mad. There's no way. This is the last one. Just looking at the
You've already
headline.
determined this is a little
Can't imagine there's a world where this doesn't do the job. Philadelphia is suing after slavery exhibits were taken down from the president's house site. The city of Philadelphia is suing the Department of the Interior, and the acting director of the National Park Service on Thursday reports that slavery exhibits were being dismantled in the city's historic district.
What?
The suit filed in federal court seeks a preliminary injunction to restore the exhibits at the president's house site, part of Independence National Historic Park. The lawsuit states that the National Park Service has removed artwork and informational displays at the president's house site referencing slavery, presumably pursuant to the mandate of Executive Order 14253, which President Donald Trump signed in March. The city said in the suit that it learned Thursday that the educational panels that referred to slavery had been removed. It also makes you wonder, like, did they like say you have 5 panels and the fourth one's about slavery? Do they just take the fourth? So now it's like a panel missing. It's like,
well, they might just take
what happened between 1905 to that's weird.
It's a gap here.
So why was there ever a Civil Rights Voting Rights Act signed if there was never anything
Nothing wrong. Yeah, I feel like the administration's motto is basically always forget.
Yes. Yes.
Never remember.
Yeah. Never forget. Just never remember. Always forget.
Yeah. The NBC Philadelphia aired video Thursday that showed people with crowbars taking down panels, one of which reads "The Dirty Business of Slavery." Crowbars. This isn't even planned out. This isn't like,
and so you're damaging thousands of dollars. You're just stripping the shit.
Like, and also like if you were writing a movie and you wanted to make someone the bad guys,
y'all the bad guys.
Taking a crowbar to a museum exhibit about slavery feel kind of like some bad guy shit.
Yeah, it do.
At least it's not like, demolishing a whole wing of the White House, that way, which they got perfectly, all the permits in order. But like, I feel like this is not to make this about me, but I'm me. And so I have an experience where when I was like I was like 21, I cheated on a girlfriend, and Rini is off to the side and just gasped, not at my cheating, but at the idea that I had a girlfriend in the past. That's her bit that she does whenever I mention any other loved one aside from her. Just kidding. There's only you. You've only ever been. Always forget. But I
never remember.
Yeah. And like we didn't like sleep together. It was just like I was away at summer camp, working at a summer camp, and my girlfriend was in Boston back at school, and I I just like developed like a close like it was mostly an emotional affair to begin with. Like it was like, and I was like, well, I'm not doing anything, you know. So, and she was kind of like a little like, because I would talk about it, and she was like, is everything going on with that person? And nothing physical had happened. So I'm like, no, nothing's going on. And then like we did like we kissed, we hooked up a little, and by that point, at a certain point, my girlfriend was like, we just broke up with me. And then I was like, okay, well, I got what what I deserved. But then we almost got back together, and she asked me, and I was like, if I hadn't told her anything, I was like, in my mind, I was like, if I hadn't told her if I hadn't given her anything to be suspicious about, if I'd just been a better liar, if I didn't tell her the truth at all, then we would have still been together. And I was like, so that was like the lesson that I thought I learned initially, is like, don't tell the truth. And then when she, but then that's not the end of the story. Don't worry, Karen. I'm a different person now, and I'm a different person even when I was 22 at the end of the story, when we almost got back together, and she was like, because she was like, okay, I acknowledge, like, I maybe overreacted based on the information that I had. Like, you told me that nothing happened, and so I trust you, and I just want to. So did truly nothing happen? And by this point, I was like, okay, the lesson was don't tell the truth. But I was like, no, I couldn't start our relationship again like on a lie. And I was like, no, I told her the truth, and we didn't get back together. And then she married somebody else and had kids, and everything's great for that and good. And then my life went the way that it did, and I'm grateful for the experience. It was a painful thing at the time, but ultimately the lesson that I learned was like, not don't tell the truth if the truth isn't good. It's try to live in a way that you can tell the truth and be proud of the truth and happy with the truth. And if the truth is negative, you can share it and atone and repent and learn and make amends, or
don't want to do.
And I feel like that's what this administration is like, trying to skip that part. They're like, look, just don't tell the truth. Like, yeah, of course the truth is horrifying. The truth is sad. The truth is tragic. The truth is painful. And like, you're almost there. It's all you have to do is tell.
And
it's not
the
less
thing
truth,
is
it's more.
And the thing is, much like, a relationship where somebody's like keeping secrets and lying and cheating or whatever, you still can feel it. And like that's America for a lot of us, is that you still can kind of feel it, even when you're not learning the truth of things.
I know something's wrong, but something's off.
As kids from the South, and with our school system that didn't always teach slavery or taught it, in jilted like weird ways, where it's like the war of Northern aggression. You're like, what were they so aggressive about? It was about states' rights. Okay, well, what kind of rights? Not
the right
okay. I mean, listen, the rights to have things that we like to have. Okay.
They want to take our possessions. You don't want people to take your possessions, do you?
What were the exact? Something about those possessions? We were taking good care of them. They were all happy.
Happy on my chairs.
Happy enough that we shouldn't ask any of them or read any of the things those people wrote that were our possessions. So it is kind of like that feeling of you still feel it, just like if someone's not putting in enough time and effort in a relationship. You can still be like, I just don't want to be in this relationship. I don't have you didn't tell me the truth, but I can tell that you're not being 100% you. So that's America to me. Here's a picture of the panels after they ripped them down. This is why I said the crowbar thing to me sticks out, because it's such a like garish way to do this. They just ripped them literally off the walls.
Versus having somebody properly remove them.
Right. Like why not take the time to take it down with a screwdriver?
Take the whole thing down.
If you were going to take down a Declaration of Independence, I got a feeling you're not just going to bash it in with a baseball bat and take it out of the enclosure with your fist. That's the way that they're treating this. And I think even that optic is on purpose.
Yeah,
like they want us to see the absence of it and feel that loss of it. They like these pictures, almost like how a serial killer keeps a trophy of their victim. They like these things. They like Dan Bongino dressing like a Nazi and getting out and walking with his guys who also look like Nazis. I think they're into the optics of these things. We're not like discovering them as much as they want us. What they would like is for the rest of us to feel bad, feel powerless, and not fight back. And I think that's the whole point of this.
Yeah, and like I said, that's the goal. That is the 100% of the goal. and all of this misinformation and disinformation and bombarding you with information, it's designed to drown you. Like, I
Yeah.
really feel like that. It's designed to emotionally, psychologically, like drown your common sense, drown your what you consider reality. And so the thing is, I just refuse. Like, I'm like, hey, I need to build something around me to prevent me from drowning. It's not
Right.
that I won't get water. It's not that I won't get wet. I just don't want to drown.
Right. All right, let's get into something a little lighter, guys.
Mhm.
Okay. We've gone from politics till we get mad to let's talk about some white people news.
White people.
Woo!
Excited to the barbecue, we white people are fighting for a little bit that's so very hard on our fragile faces. White people do.
Let's see what the white people are up to. It can't be as bad as what we just discussed. Um,
No, it can't be.
let's see. How about this? Ellen DeGeneres is being ruthlessly mocked after appearing in a commercial.
She went away like I wanted her to. Leave that lady alone.
All right, they're like, "Oh, you had to sell us products. We're at home watching it." Um, this is the, I guess, kind silent science gentle cleanser. Is
Okay.
that is what she's selling. And my guess is there's a certain type of person that's probably mocking her. But let's see. In the ad, she's seen leaning against a cabinet, and she explains to viewers they could pay just $59.95 for 6 skincare products instead of $250 at the cost it was bought individually. Pleading with the viewers to spend the cash, she says, "Come on now." A clip of the commercial has gone viral on TikTok alongside the caption, "Ellen fell off hard." And numerous social media users have ripped into the actress while questioning the decline of her career. Taken to the comments, one said, "Ellen's career has degenerated generously." I see what you did there. Okay.
They did some
Using the
stuff.
pun gift for bad.
Yeah.
She's barely holding herself up. Whenever I see a celebrity in a commercial, I assume that's the decline in their career. I'm just gonna say this, okay? And it's nice. I mean, if you guys don't like Ellen, you don't like Ellen. I can't do anything about that.
Mm-mm.
But what I will say is this: I think they're missing the bigger picture. This is a recession indicator. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Yes, it is. And we've been
Every time I see
slowly
like
seeing it.
Scarlett Johansson selling me a car, I'm like, this used to be a job for
Or-
people that weren't Scarlett Johansson
This
famous.
used to be somebody that didn't quite get enough hours to get insurance for the SAG.
Yeah. Like, what is this? Oh, what happened to what? I feel like the economy's better when either B-list actors are selling me things or people that are the commercial is what makes them famous.
Yes.
Like when the Verizon guy became the Verizon guy, I was like, the American economy is booming.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. He became a
Oh.
guy.
Flo from Progressive. That's
Flo from
another one.
Progressive, that dude Jake from State Farm,
Yes, Jake from
the
State
white one
Farm.
and the black one.
Yes, the white one and the black one.
I think the white one was probably like Obama first term, and then the second term was so good they was like make them black, and it kept working, and they became famous. When they go to events, sometimes they'll be like on the sideline of an NBA game. It's Jake from State Farm. That's not that man's name.
I don't think that's that man's name. I don't know what his name is, but it ain't Jake.
That means the economy's doing good. But when Matthew McConaughey is selling me State Farm,
Come on.
that's bad for all
Yeah.
of us. And I feel like these white folks missed it in the comments trying to clown Ellen.
Yeah, when I have white people selling me Uber Eats, something wrong, because that's normally Uber Eats is normally some random
yeah.
actor in your local area selling you. Be like, hey, I like Uber Eats. You like Uber Eats? Order Uber Eats.
You know, I'm on board. I love this analysis because yeah, of course, Matthew McConaughey selling you products is all wrong, all wrong, all wrong. And I was doing a show a couple months ago, and I was asking a person in the audience what their name was, and he said Jake, and I didn't totally hear it. He spoke, and he was like, "It's Jake, like from State Farm." I was like, "Wow, they've really gotten you." Like I don't love commercials, but like every once in a while there is like, a commercial that is comedic or sticky. There's
Right.
like one Renee and I were seeing that I'm glad to know, I don't know what it was for, but it was about a dog that was like dreaming and imagining, and there's a little kid who's like, he's thinking squirrels, and
Yeah,
I was just
I
like
like that
love
commercial.
it was like sticky and catchy. And so what a
Oh.
great perspective, what a great point that, of course, when from the ground up, if somebody becomes famous from a commercial, like power to them. And if somebody is already famous, then it's like power from them.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, listen,
Yeah, that
I'm
matters.
scared.
Yeah, somebody said the Mayhem commercial with State Farm. I
Yeah.
don't know that man's name.
And he used to be like an actor, but he wasn't an A-list actor. So like that's about right. It's just
be Mayhem, like B.
yeah. I don't like when I see Michael B. Jordan selling me shit. I'm like, oh no.
And it's not fine
What's
watches or cologne or some shit that's $2,000.
I'm just like, what's gonna happen to my economy? Like,
Right.
if Michael B. Jordan has like to keep my mansion, I need to sell Amazon. Like, oh no. Spencer Pratt.
Actor. Am I right?
I don't know, Mike. Is Spencer
I
Pratt in
also, it sounds like a, truly don't know. Let's, I'm
that? I
gonna,
feel like he's a
American
reality
TV
guy.
personality and politician.
He's a reality guy,
Oh,
reality show guy
yes.
who used to date Heidi Montag.
Oh, yes, somebody said from the Hills.
The Hill. Okay, well, Spencer Pratt admits he sold pictures of teen Mary Kay Olsen partying with Henry Winkler's son for a whopping price.
Why did you tell us this?
Who's he admitting this to? For what? Is he selling this story to somebody else for some other money now?
Right.
He's on a podcast called The Guy You Love to Hate, Confessions from a Reality TV Villain.
Oh, what a name.
It's set to hit shelves on January 27th.
Oh, today.
Yeah, hit shelves? Do podcasts hit shelves?
Apparently we hit the shelf.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's a memoir. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
He was on a podcast to. Okay. I thought that was the name of the damn podcast.
I was like, wow, that's a long ass name.
Oh, my bad. So he said, after noticing a photo shrine to Mary Kate in his pal Max Winkler's bedroom back in 2004, I think it got up to like $90,000. He said, when talking to Page Six Radio's Danny Murphy, Evan Real, and Ian Moore. So Page Six, the gossip place, has its own radio show or something.
I did not know this.
Spencer Pratt went on there to promote his book. And told them this story. He added that the first photo he sold of the Full House star 37 was sold to entertainment publication In Touch for $50,000. So he was making money at the time as a reality star person, but he also was making money selling these photos to like these gossip magazines.
Yeah, because it was years ago. They probably make much more now. Not to that 50 rich, but you know, this was like the beginning of it. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them work other jobs. Like so there's like, I got to do something. I'm gonna be on this reality show, but they ain't paying enough to keep my living going.
Okay, he said
they paying exposure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah. And he said these lovely individuals are already hundreds of millionaires. Noting that nothing I sold you wouldn't post on your Instagram account. But I mean, it sounds like he made that decision without their consent.
Yeah, and this probably happened years ago before the internet was what it is now.
But he said it was another photo that he didn't actually sell that caused him problems. There's a photo of me like at a semi-formal, and there Mary Kate, she looks inebriated. I didn't sell that photo. I'm in it. That's somebody else. So that one I got a little heat for, but my photos were clean. When asked if he ever heard from her, he also joked that he gets Christmas cards from the Row fashion designer. So I guess they're cool now, according to him.
Right.
Or at least he's on the Christmas card list.
The mailing list.
Yeah, so that's what Spencer Pratt's up to. He's selling a book, and in the book he was selling photos of people that are famous.
That's what he does. He sells things that have nothing to do with him almost. Yeah.
That's his reality.
Yes, it is.
He's like, when you don't have actual talent, this is what you do. You sell pictures of talented people.
it's like the equivalent of the those, which I think this is I don't endorse this saying, but the old, the those who can do, those who can't teach, those who can't teach Jim, that kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
and I don't know where that came from originally, but like teachers are valuable and undervalued. But the idea that if you can't do something, then then what are you gonna do? You gotta just be something
Mm.
undesirable. Is like, look,
Right.
I don't have any talent, so
I
but let's
can't I can't act, but I can act up. Uh, and then people will record that. Victoria and David Beckham.
heard of them.
I know he's a soccer player,
Okay.
and
People
she's
bend it like him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
is she an actress?
I think
Model?
she was a Spice Girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
She used to be. Well, they were asserting their power couple status by coordinating Birkins in Paris.
coordinated Birkins.
Yeah, Birkins, I believe,
Are
are
those
bags.
bags?
Those like
Oh yeah,
expensive
Perkins in Paris. That's the Jay-Z song. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
they're very
yeah.
expensive.
Gwyneth Paltrow can't say it though. Leave it to Posh and Bex amid swirling drama over their relationship with their eldest son, Brooklyn. Oh, don't even get me into that tea. Victoria and David Beckham took a trip to Paris with the rest of their kids, showing solidarity in more ways than one. The clan was in town for Victoria's Chevrolet d'Rs literary ceremony at the Ministry of the Culture rather than the Hot Couture Week, but that didn't stop them from bringing along their best designer duds. After the ceremony, the couple left their hotel holding matching Hermes Birkin bags. Victoria's Birkin collection is well known to be quite extensive. She even owns the rare world's most expensive Himalayan Birkin. That's a lot of
Wow. A rich
Yeah,
person
them
owns an
bags cost
expensive thing?
thousands
That's
of dollars.
incredible.
and I bet she doesn't even keep money in it.
You know she
She's
don't.
like, I'm too rich. The bag is the money.
The bag is the money.
When I show up with the bag, they give me what I want
they
because
put
they
money
know
in the bag
how
because
much
you
money
showed
I
up
have.
with the bag.
She's like, shows
Uh,
up to the bank, be like, put more Birkins in my Birkin. Put the bag in
yeah.
the bag. Yeah.
Oh, a Birkin, $1,000, ma'am. Just
I get a Birkin, I'm like, just put it in the back. Hey, hey, I'm just gonna start opening and closing it for no reason. What is wrong with her over there?
now he has an oversized Hot Curios 50
That's like a suitcase.
bag. Yeah, that's a huge bag. But that, see, when you're a man, you need a bigger bag to let people know that you're
that is not
this
a purse.
this is a man bag. Okay, I got bowling balls and condoms
I
in
got
here.
balls.
Okay,
I don't carry no ladies' bag.
I got women's purses in my man bag. Is how manly this bag is. The former Spice Girl accessorized her tailored blue suit with a burgundy croc model, while David, in navy pants and ribbed sweater, opted for the oversized Hot Curios made of canvas and leather. Wow. Well, good for them, man. We love to see it. The kids had bags, I guess.
They probably have some Birkins too.
Birkins.
Birkins, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's people pushing their bags for them. So the bags that aren't fashionable to carry, I guess, on this rack. We love to see it, man. Listen, white
Probably
people are
just as
doing well.
expensive.
Okay. It always
Man,
does my heart good.
I feel like, why a bag is such a statement of status is that bag, you just get them everywhere. You just get like a tote bag. Like, I feel like wherever I go, I mean, like, I'm not rich and people but my house fills up. Like, we give away bags. They come in faster than they go out. So
Right.
it's just bags on bags, but,
Right. Imagine
Birkin.
spending a bag on a bag is crazy to me. But
Yes.
I'm like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
money that could have been in my pocket. But now it's not in my purse that I bought because it costs that much.
Yeah,
It's like
did.
pens also, like it's like some people buy pens, but like pens like naturally grow out of hotel rooms. You can just grab them or like,
Right.
yeah.
You go to the pin tree. Moment David Beckham is asked about his son's Brooklyn's explosive post. That's right. It's not all good for the Beckhams, Karen.
Oh no.
I hinted at this earlier when I said that their son is having some drama with them. So apparently, their son Brooklyn is estranged from them.
Okay, they said the oldest child.
Yeah, he don't mess with them right now. And so he had put out a statement on his Instagram. He said in his statement, I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies they have printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Ooh! Oh, no. Oh, that is, Karen, that's like a 5 alarm fire in rich white people
It is.
world.
You cancel my dress.
At the 11th hour, and it was a Victoria Beckham original? Girl, you gotta stop
Wow.
playing with my wedding. Um, Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. He also said, man, there's a lot of pictures. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicola's nanny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Well, if you're that rich, the nanny probably raised the boy. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah.
come on now. You were like the best in the world at sports and singing and entertainment. It's okay if you guys weren't able to be there every night.
Right. That's understandable.
Since that moment, I started standing up for myself and my family. I received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly. They were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. Wow, that's weird. Your family, you got a family that they can block each other on social media. It's like we not family no more.
Wow.
Guess that's what that means.
Yeah. I'll just see you at home.
Right. I see you at the reunion. What's
Yeah.
happening here?
Okay, that's weird.
I
How
know
are
where
you?
you live.
How are you going to explain this one at Christmas? I guess we'll find out.
So I guess what we're saying is Brooklyn is no longer in contact with Manhattan and Queens and the Bronx and I don't know the other names, but that's it's
yeah, it's his own
sad.
borough.
Yeah.
Even he says my mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where this is getting, I don't feel like he's flexing on me about how dope his wedding was.
Mark Anthony.
Mark Anthony called me to the stage where the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with with my wife, but instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that brings us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. This feels very, very rich white people news.
Yeah, it's
That's why we came over
Do you
here.
feel like problems that he would tell his rich people group chat and they'd be like,
Oh dear.
but because we're not in the rich people group chat, I'm just kind of like, and y'all still mad about it, or
well, it's weird because like he's born into this, like regal environment and like even a
Right.
wedding for anyone, in our society is kind of like the equivalent of like the day where you get to be the closest to like, obviously
Right.
the optimal form of a wedding is just like two people who love each other, gather their friends and loved ones and family and celebrate that love. And you get to do it ideally the way that you want to do it, where you're like, we're the two people that this is about, like but then it becomes about family. And then so when you bring in like, but our family is famous, and they're all concerned, like so many of them are concerned with the optics, but
Right.
weddings are also, so many regular non-famous people are concerned with like if you read, I read a bunch of advice columns, like people are like sometimes like, my sister dyed her hair purple weeks before my wedding, and now she's going to ruin our photos. And it's like, I don't know if she's going to ruin your photos, she's going to have purple hair in your photos. Like you don't,
Right, that's
like
it. You'll be
nobody,
all right.
you don't get to
Right.
dictate other people's bodily choices. It's not like you're hiring her for a role and being like, oh, you're playing this character who doesn't have purple hair and you have purple
Right.
hair. I get it. You don't have the part anymore, but you're my sister, you're my family. You're like, man, it's bananas how
Yeah, I
far
think
it,
also like I feel like these are valid concerns if you're of a certain like lifestyle. It's just I'm so far removed that it's hard for me to understand how huge an insult it is. You know, it's
Yeah, I'd
like
be like, you want to go to the beach? What are we doing
yeah,
here?
like right. I'm like, you guys have enough to have multiple tables at the wedding for everyone to sit at. Like, you guys seem pretty good. And it's like, yeah, but my mom and dad were mad they weren't at our table, and the nanny was, so we
and
had to fight. Pull up an
and
extra seat. What the fuck is the problem?
it does seem like mom and dad, like I feel like mom dancing weird at the wedding would be,
Yeah.
for any wedding story, like, okay, that's just like a funny weird thing that happened at the
Right.
wedding.
Yeah.
But clearly this person, I this is like literally the first I've heard about any
Yeah.
of these people's personal lives, so I don't know what
Same.
kind of history and
Oh, that's
potentially,
that's the best part of
That's
this
yeah,
segment.
that's the
Yeah,
point. Yeah,
that's the whole
if we
part.
don't have to
We don't
know,
have to be invested.
and
These
I'll forget
if
in
they get
15
mad at us
minutes.
later, we'll be like, we didn't care the whole time, so it's totally fine. It's go ahead. You don't need to be
yeah.
informed. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I assume that, like every family has potential traumas and, triggers and difficult things that like from like whenever I'm sharing a story about, my family, like even, my best friends, my Rini, my loved ones, like
Right.
Rini people can understand why I'm having the experience I'm having, yet
Right.
also like if a friend tells me my mom did this thing and it really made me feel this way, we can be like,
Right.
I get that. And I get where you're coming from because I know when I have that experience as well. But when other
Right.
people tell us theirs, sometimes we're like, that one doesn't sound so bad. It's clearly
Right.
because of like the history of what was
Exactly.
going on internally. Like, so I believe that this person
It
felt
makes you
this way.
seem silly because it is so germane, like to just you and whatever you can't really explain to us the entire history of mistrust. That's really what it is, right? Like,
Right.
because like other people, that's cute. Like, oh, your mom stole the first dance, haha, cute. But if you're like, my mom is always stealing the spotlight from me on my most important days. And finally, I was renewing my vows with my wife, and it was finally my day to have my
And she
turn.
said, "Ha ha!"
And my
Like the
mom,
wicked witch.
right? And so, like in your mind, your mom's a super villain
Right.
that has been just constantly against you as an
And
antagonist.
she gave my wife a poisonous apple.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, I'm like, your mom gave your wife an apple. That's beautiful.
That's
They're like,
sweet.
fuck you. You're part of the problem
Kill her.
too. She's trying to kill me. But anyway, this thing goes on for a long time. That meaning like this statement is like it could be a chapter in a book. Not that we care. But good for those white folks. We love to see it.
To you all.
All right, let's do one last segment before we get out of here. I normally don't do these with Mike, but we're having a good time. I think it's time to play a little bit of Guess the Race, guys.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Guess the race. We go around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved, and the chat room plays along, and Karen plays along, and Myq Kaplan plays along. These are our contestants. I'm pretty sure Myq Kaplan's 0 for life, but we'll see if this time maybe he gets a couple. Let's, maybe break the streak. A man has been busted on felony charge for alleged ketchup packet battery.
Ketchup packet batteries.
He battered somebody with ketchup packets.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like, there's no way it could be a battery of ketchup, Karen.
Well, honestly, speak for yourself. Because sometimes when I'm eating some fries, that ketchup puts the fuel in my back, and
Yeah,
that's how I keep
okay.
going.
I'm with you on that. Yes.
It takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
I guess white.
So, thanks to a prior conviction, the man is okay. The weapon, a packet of ketchup. The charge, felony battery. The maximum penalty, 5 years in state prison.
Felony
You
with
beat it with a
ketchup?
high bottle? What is this?
It was the old school glass bottle of ketchup.
Yes. The felony.
He broke it and it was like gonna stab him.
Oh,
Thanks to
okay. I was picturing like the little McDonald's packets. That didn't make any sense at
Oh
all.
no, you're right. It was a packet. Karen's making jokes.
Yeah, it was a package, but it got bumped to felony. So I was like, what did you do? Just hit him with the whole bottle?
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, please continue.
Yes.
Thanks to a prior conviction, the man is behind bars on an enhanced criminal count for allegedly striking a male victim with a ketchup packet. I wonder if you're the male victim and the police are like, well, first of all, you call the police because they hit you with a ketchup packet. But secondly,
Okay.
Karen, it's the intent. Okay. No, I'm not injured, but my pride is.
Show me on the doll where the ketchup hit you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I wonder if part of you, when the police are like, well, you're going to jail forever now, this is a violation of parole, if part of you's like, ooh, this escalated much quicker than I was hoping you guys would make him leave the bar. I didn't think
realize it was gonna go here.
Investigators say Austin Simmons, 28, committed the battery inside of a Florida bus terminal. The victim, cops say, was checking
a restaurant.
A bus terminal. The victim was a person who was checking on Simmons because he appeared to be passed out. Identified as a transient, Simmons woke up irate. He then walked towards Carlos Moore, we're not guessing his race,
okay,
and threw an open ketchup packet at the victim. They said the victim suffered 2 spots of ketchup on his jacket. Oh, not 2 spots of ketchup.
That's
motherfucker, you getting the book thrown at you.
That's 2.5 years per spot.
Yeah,
apparently it is.
Okay. Simmons denied striking Moore with the condiment, but reportedly admitted giving the victim a ketchup packet. That's just what happens when you that's police psychology. That's what happens is you start negotiating with the police subconsciously, and then you just admit to still a crime. Because look, you're in court and the judge is like, so you're charged with hitting this guy with ketchup, and it's like, no, I'm not, and I didn't do that. And they're like, okay, you said you gave him a ketchup packet. How'd you give it to him? By throwing it against his clothes until it busted? Okay, that's you're going to jail. You should have just kept silent.
Now I understand why you got battery, because it takes a lot to beat somebody to the package bust.
You know, honestly, I did this once.
Oh,
You're lucky.
Did it in 3rd grade. I had a teacher who I'm not saying she was racist, but she was giving me bad grades, and I'm not a bad grade person. I'm a good grade person. And she was failing my spelling test because my left-handed cursive handwriting in her mind wasn't legible enough. And so she was sending like F's home to my parents and shit. And so my parents, thank God, came up there and defended me, and they were like, let's do it right now. Give him a spelling test. He'll write it in cursive and then write it in prose or whatever. It's both. And I was able to do that. And because I was pretty smart, I was able to do that shit before the kids could get done doing it the regular way. Like I was answering everything twice. Like, yep, this is
literally. It said like you have to be twice as good to get half the recognition. You were literally more than twice as good. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. And so
that's why you was called a nerd.
Right.
NRED. Yeah.
And then so anyway, that happened, and I don't know, subconsciously, I was a kid, so you
were a kid.
It's kind of murky drawn together, like, but I did not like her from that point on. And so one day at lunch, I took my ketchup packets and I just twisted them by holding it the top one way and then twist it until they were all like ticks, you know, just with full bellies. And then I just looked her dead in the eyes and went, "Splam!" And
Wow.
it all went on her pretty yellow
That is
dress.
hilarious.
And I got in super duper trouble because
Oh,
that's
no.
not a good way to handle that. Kids, don't be like me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
This is why you need to talk about emotions.
I didn't get felony ketchup battery, so thank God maybe she wasn't that racist. She didn't file charges. While the minor incident would normally be handled as a misdemeanor, Simmons was charged with third-degree felony due to a prior conviction. Arrest records do not indicate what the earlier case was filed. Blah blah. In
Mustard.
addition to the battery, okay.
Oh, mustard. That's the earlier case.
Yeah.
He's escalated. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe some mayo in there.
He's a condiment convict.
right.
In addition to the battery rap, Simmons was charged with possession of a controlled substance after they turned up a small amount of chalky substance.
Not chalky.
What if it's just chalk? He's like, I like ketchup. I like chalk.
Chalky lit. Chalky
Yeah.
lit.
Chalky lit. Well, guess the race.
You better
Karen.
give us the answer.
Yeah, I almost did.
I'm gonna go white.
Austin Simmons. All right. What about you, Mike?
If it was mayo, absolutely it would be white. But I'm gonna also. I think white people like ketchup a lot as well, and like to give it to people. So yeah, I'm going white.
All right, let's check the chat room, see what they believe. Someone said, was it organic? I don't know. I don't have any information on the ketchup other than it was packaged, guys. Alabaster angel with a devil on his shoulder. Black, says Marlene. The correct answer is he was white. You guys both got it correct. And I'll pull up his picture so that y'all can look at it. That's him. He does seem to have like some brownish qualities, but
Oh no, he looked like a ketchup bandit.
yeah, really couldn't cut the mustard when it came to being a criminal.
Mm.
Some of you said,
yeah.
Go ahead.
His outfit is it's actually a white outfit, but it's covered in mustard and ketchup together.
And of course, somebody said black. They got it wrong.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. A woman has been jailed for a pork chop attack on her mother.
Was it fried?
We'll see. Farah Kernan, 18, was arrested for battery following a disturbance last night and at the Jensen Beach home where she shares with the 46-year-old victim, her mama. She's locked up in Martin County Jail on $2,500 bond. According to the probable cause affidavit, Kernan's mother told cops that she had been involved in a verbal dispute with her daughter, who she said had been drinking alcohol earlier in the day. Oh, she's 18, not allowed to drink, even in Florida.
No, you gotta be 21.
During that argument, the woman alleged Kernan smacked her in the face and threw a pork chop at her. Police on the scene observed food residue on the victim's left shoulder. Oh, that's a juicy pork chop.
Yeah, it was.
That's the biggest crime. You wasted a pork chop. Which was consistent with her statement. When
Consistent with her statement.
she hit me with a pork chop. We gotta check for food residue. Get the forensics team in here. Oh, it does check out. This is
Just that's pork chop
CSI chop scene investigation. Yeah.
I just picture it like the old 80s cop movies where they'd have like cocaine and someone would taste it. I just want someone to rub their finger in the grease like, oh yeah, that's 100% pure pork loin right there.
It's pure.
That's Colombian pork chop. Okay.
It's not cut. Yeah.
We got to get this off the streets. When the cops questioned by cops, Kernan appeared confused and became emotionally upset before screaming and crying and continued to act uncooperatively. A friend of the victim who was present at the residence recorded video of Kernan striking her mother. Well, that's open and shut case. Kernan was arrested last year for trespassing on a Jensen Beach causeway a day after being issued a trespass warrant for a physical altercation with another female as part of a deferred prosecution agreement. She had to perform 50 hours of community service. Guess the race of Farah Kiernan.
I'm gonna go white.
All right, Mike.
I'm also gonna go white, not only because I think it would be racist of me to ever guess anything other than white. But I do think, yes, white.
Let's check the chat room. The other white meat on white crime. That was good, Devilvich. White since that's her name. That's her screen name, guys. I just just reading.
In case somebody be like,
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that when you see this on YouTube, you guys don't see the chat names. Y'all like, really, Rod? Wow, I thought you were a cool guy.
why you call her double bitch?
What'd she do to you? White since she played the victim, says Marlene. The correct answer is everyone got it, white. Yep, I'll pull up the picture for everyone real quick. Boom. I like that they used a very unserious picture from her Instagram or something.
It's very unserious.
At the top. Like, why? But then there's also her mugshot picture. So she's very upset after hitting her mom with a pork chop. There you go. All right.
And this is probably not the first time she's done this.
You know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say first time she hit her mom with a pork chop. I know it's correct.
Maybe hit her with a pork chop.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I'll just mess with you. All right, let's go to the bonus round. So far, both of you guys are 2 for 2. No, wait. Yeah, y'all are 2 for 2. So it's going to the bonus round.
And I wonder did her mama cook that pork chop? I know she didn't cook that pork chop.
She did. Who cooked the pork chop? I bet the mama cooked the pork chop for her.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, yeah, the mama cooked the pork chop and then you hit her with it.
Oh, I thought you said the mama didn't. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that girl did. She didn't cook the pork chop.
Yeah, the girl didn't cook the pork chop.
Because if you'd have cooked it, you'd have ate it.
I call the police too. If I cook for you and then
police too.
If I cook for you and you throw the food on my shoulder, I am going to call the police.
I cook for you and you throw mashed potatoes and green beans and dressing at me, we're going to have a problem.
What are you making, Thanksgiving over there?
Yep.
In this
in this made up world?
Anyway, all right. Triple, we got to get Myq out of here.
Oh, my bad.
Triple the points, triple the race. Triple the points. Triple the points, triple the race.
All right. Triple the points, triple the race.
Okay.
So far, Myq is 2 for 2. Might be a first ever for Myq.
Right?
Karen is 2 for 2.
Yes.
But let's see what happens in the final round.
Okay.
Triple the points. Triple the racism. Burn, motherfucker, burn. Daughter being evicted by dad used charcoal fluid and a big lighter to set his apartment ablaze with him inside.
Oh, and you'd rather get hit with a pork chop.
More barbecue? Come on, why is it all food based? Okay.
Come on, hit me with a pack of ketchup then.
And that's why she's a bad tenant. Okay. I feel like the father was justified. A Wisconsin woman who was being evicted by her father, set his home ablaze using charcoal fluid and big lighter. Burn, motherfucker, burn. Lakita Spears, 48, told her dad after igniting a fire at his Milwaukee apartment and sending it up in flames. The blaze wound up spreading to other apartments.
Wow.
Sending elderly residents rushing out while suffering from smoke inhalation and other injuries, including one person who was hospitalized with chest pain after he was found unresponsive and not breathing, according to the police.
Wow.
The apartment building where the dad lives houses elderly people, with a large majority of those being disabled, and it was not equipped with sprinklers. Well, that also feels like there's
2026 and you know sprinklers.
That feels like some sort of violation of the law.
Right. Bill 1911.
Occupants of the apartment complex were self-evacuated and some people were hanging out of windows. The complaint alleges Spears had been fighting with her father after he tried kicking her out of his residence, where she had been staying for several weeks. The father stated he did not have any problems with the defendant, but over the past 2 weeks, she has constantly been talking to herself. On January 13, 2026, at approximately 1 p.m., the defendant was screaming at him and not making any sense about $5 that should have been lent to her by a family member. Okay. So, that was like, you got to get out. This doesn't make sense.
This is way too much for me.
So he said, you got to stay. You can't stay in my apartment if you're going to scream and cuss at me. And
that makes sense.
She said, okay, then I'm going to burn everything down. So she walked toward the front door and got a red big lighter and said she was going to burn, and left. And Tried to light the whole thing on fire. Okay, Karen,
Wow.
Mike, guess the race of Lakita Spears.
I'm gonna go black for Lakita.
Karen's going black. Mike.
Well, I know that Wisconsin is majority white,
That is
though.
true.
I look. I don't want to profile based on Wisconsin only. The name, like, you could have a white lady named Lakita. I don't want to.
It's theoretically possible.
Yeah,
That's true.
it is.
But I do think that I'm with Karen. I'm going to go black as well.
All right, let's check the
Okay.
chat room, see what they believe. At best, we have a tie.
Okay.
At worst, we have a tie.
Yeah, we will.
Black, and we didn't start the fire black. MF in black. Everybody went black on this one, and everyone, you got it correct. She's black.
Phew.
And there's a picture. That looks like the face she had as she was watching it burn.
Yeah.
It
And I
kind of looks
still-
like the same face as like the other the first white lady mugshot that we saw.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you attack your parents, some people got to attack parent face.
Yeah, they do.
Rest in attack parent face is what I call it.
Rat,
If you
rat
just
face
got it,
for
you got
short.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rat face. All right, last thing, of course, because we have to spread the word. Sword ratchetness, guys. Okay. All right. Sword ratchetness. Got to talk about the scourge that is the sword that is around our world and not really being monitored enough. Crimes are happening. We got gun control, not enough sword control. How we gonna get gun control without sword control? Think about it. A man rushed into a street brandishing a samurai sword as an ugly street brawl reminiscent of the Wild West broke out in Pembroke Dock. Okay, I'm just gonna say, I feel like these people being from the UK do not understand what the Wild West was, because it was not swashbuckling with swords. It was
No,
guns,
it's not.
6-shooters.
Swashbuckling with swords. What are you out in the ocean? You a pirate?
Yeah. Reminiscent of the Wild West. You remember how Billy the Kid used to pull out his cutlass? No. Police were called following reports of a fighting and disorder taking place. Pembroke Street. Mr. Jones said it was unclear. The prosecutors, Mr. Jones, said it was unclear what sparked the violence, but Stephen Charge and Trevor Harridge were chasing each other and fighting. During the course of the incident, Michael Valmont appeared on the street carrying a samurai-style sword and brandishing the weapon openly. The police received a number of reports from members of the public who were concerned Valmont would use the blade on them. Officers arrived. They found him still fighting. Then they broke it up. They got arrested.
Still fighting.
They later recovered a sword and a black hooded top, which Valmont had discarded in a nearby garden. The court, he's trying to grow a sword. The court heard Harridge, who was 47 at the time of the incident, had since died.
Oh.
But they didn't say, I guess he didn't die from the fight.
Okay.
He just died. Charge involvement pleaded guilty to a fray. The court heard 52-year-old Charge had a substantial criminal history, and Valmont had 74 previous convictions for 203 offenses. Damn.
Woo. What was you doing?
The defendant accepts his actions went beyond that of lawful self-defense. He is extremely remorseful for being caught up in this offense, said his lawyer.
Are we sure? With
yeah.
that record?
But yeah, they said that initially he wasn't involved, but he foolishly entered the fray as his friend was involved, so he pulled out his sword to go help him. He understands that he is going to prison. He understands he is walking around Pembrokeshire with a samurai sword and is not going to result in any other outcome. Well, good for their laws. Okay, go to jail. You gotta go to jail for that, man. Come on, swords attacking people doesn't even make sense. What are you, Ninja Turtle? Mr. Terrence said the 48-year-old defendant of Water Street in Pembroke Dock had worked to rid himself of a 30-year heroin addiction and was now returning clean drug tests. So it was the heroin. I can see how that can happen. Well, good luck getting off of the heroin, and maybe they'll let you out early.
I hope so.
Just stay away from the swords. It's not helping things. It's only making it worse.
White.
Myq Kaplan.
Yeah. Oh, is it not? We're not guessing the race anymore. Okay, great.
No.
Swords, white. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Tell the people where to find you, man.
Yes, tell them where to find you.
Thank you so much for having me here, finding me here right now. You can find me on the Comic-Con ship this weekend, and all my dates are at MyqKaplan.com, or you can follow me. It'd be helpful on punchup.live/Myq Kaplan. That's a great place to find my tour dates and lots of other comedians' tour dates and people who are coming to your area, which I will be doing specifically to your area in April. But at Myq Kaplan, all the places, social media. My newsletter is MyqKaplan.substack.com, and my latest special that I created with my girlfriend Rini is on YouTube, and it is called Rini. So if you remember anything, watch Rini and come see me live and follow me, and just remember everything. Why not just listen back and memorize it, and you'll be great. So thank you so much for having me, guys.
Nah, man, thank you for being here. Shout out to Rini as well for lending you to us, and we'll be back Saturday for sure. Tomorrow, guys, we're doing our premium sports show, behind the paywall stuff, and I think that's all the show note stuff. Everything else is in the everything else is in the description at the bottom, guys. Go get those tickets for PodCon.
Yes.
And go join the Patreon if you're so inclined. All right. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, Myq. Thanks for coming, bro. This is fun, man.